Yo, what's happening, y'all? It's your man Valentine, baby. Coming to you from on the grind. Yo, man, I'm looking outside, man. It ain't gonna happen, yo. Ain't no sunshine when it's gone. I know, but the home edition, man, has to come inside. That's how it's about to go down, y'all. Now, look here. I didn't know whether or not to comment on this comment this young cat made on my YouTube channel, but I wrestled with it, saying, do I want to do it? Do I want to say something to it or let it go? And my thing is, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to say something about it. But first, I'm going to say something about like this here. Now, if you come up on my channel and you use a racial slur on my channel and think it's cool, it's not cool. You come on my channel to make a comment, make a respectful comment, not a disparaging comment, and not something that you don't know nothing about. So you need to sit there and make sure you come correct and check yourself before you come on my channel making comments, especially racial slurs. You feel me? So this is all I want to say to you, bro. Be respectful. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do. I ain't going to be mad at you. I just want you to be respectful when you come on my channel. You feel me? Cool. Now we can move on. So now we're going to move on with this thing here, because I'm going to talk about it. Because my whole thing about this thing is I'm going to give you the education that you so need. Because if you were educated and you were educated about Black history and why this word is so synonymous with Black people and it's so disparaging with Black people, you would know that it is not something you just go ahead and say at any time to any one of your boys. Right? And the fact that you can say that you can use it anytime you want and it doesn't mean anything, you see, that's the thing. It means something to Black people, because you got to understand where this word comes from. You know what I mean? This word, it evolved through the 17th century, because the first words, it was Negro at the time, but yet it didn't sound that good to all these white folks, right? So they had to change the word. So in the 17th century, they changed the word to the N-word. You feel me? So the fact that you say that you can use this N-word and it doesn't mean nothing, and because, it's just a word. It's not just a word, homie. This word, when it's said to Black people, you've got to understand what goes through the mind of a Black person when they hear this word. You know what I mean? So you have to self-reflect and self-critique. Because if you do that, you will understand why you should not ever use this word or never use it with you and your friends. You understand? So, listen, man, this word, when you say this word, man, it magnifies the anti-Black feeling. You know what I mean? Because every time that you use this word, it conjures up violence, brutality, and it conjures up the attack on Black people. when they were fighting for freedom and the fighting for the right to vote. And yet you sit there and think that you can just automatically use this word with your boys. And listen, no, you cannot do that. White folks, you cannot use this word. And I have to say it, white people, keep the N-word out your mouth. If you do not know where it comes from or what it means to be black. Black people have been fighting 400 years, man. Listen, white people are the ones that brought black people across the Atlantic and the Pacific. Ended up in the shores on the Carolinas. You know what I mean? So y'all created this word that black people are trying to not wanting to use anymore. They want to banish this word. And yet you want to keep it. And you want to use it as you see fit. Or it's just another word. No, it's not just another word. You cannot use that. White people, you need to keep the N-word out your mouth. So understand where we're going with this, homie. It's just you cannot use this word. So get yourself educated. If you need to read James Baldwin or Langston Hughes or some black author. Even better yet, I'm thinking if you got some black friends, I guarantee that in your age group, that if you were to go ahead and talk to your black friends and say, look here, I'm going to sit there and use this word anytime I want. What do you think they're going to say to you? They're going to look at you and say, no, you can't. And as I'm saying to you right now, white dude, keep the N-word out your mouth. That's what I'm saying to you. Because you can't be sitting there thinking that any indigenous person, any Chinese person, any brown people are going to want to sit there and hear a name that they didn't like and that was disparaging to them back in the day to be used by somebody else as any other word. So I'm challenging you, my young dude, to really do some homework, do some self-reflecting, get yourself some homework, go read black studies, black history, whatever it is, to read about how the struggle of the black person and what it means to be black. We understand how hard it is to be black. You do not, because you have your white privileges, man. You can go outside your house and come home safely without being stopped or arrested. Because as I gave it to you, 1 in 3 black person in Canada will be stopped or will be arrested or even shot. Who knows? Your parents never have to give you that talk about, listen here, baby. When you go out tonight, make sure that you do this if you get stopped by the police. And this is your mama talking to you. Your mama ain't never had to give you that talk. And your mama never will. Because why? You white. So guess what? That white privilege does not mean that you can have the N-word and say the N-word anytime you want. So again, white people, keep the N-word out your mouth. So this is what I'm saying to y'all. You do not understand the meaning of this word, don't use it. Don't use it because you hear everybody else using it. It's not something that you can just, like a baseball, you can throw across the room. If you were to do that, everywhere it landed, and there's a black person, guess what? It's going to hit them really hard. Because they understand what this word means to them. What do you think a black person is thinking when somebody says that to them? Think about how it was when you brought up, it's like you say this word, guess what? Oh, violence, brutality, the attack on black people. Let's go back to Jim Crow time when black people felt they were beneath everyone. They're lower class. You're not smart enough. You're not educated enough. This is what all black people think when they're marginalized by this word. And black people keep thinking that they can't come up because of this word, because they always think they're beneath them, because this word is embedded into their skin, because they were beaten, hung, they were beaten, lynched, dragged by cars. Baby mamas taking kids, get their kids taken away from them and sold. So this is what I'm talking about. As a young white dude, get yourself educated, bruh, and come correct. And again, white folks, keep the N-word out your mouth. Because this is truly a joke. I don't know if you've been under a rock or wherever you've been, because what has been happening since May, since George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, all these people that are getting shot by the police, and the Black Lives Matter movement. Come on, man. You need to understand what's going on. So, again, like I said, I ain't mad at you. I just want you to get educated. And when you come on my channel to make a comment, you make a respectful comment, and you know exactly what you're talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want for you. And I want you to go and get yourself, do some homework and study Black history. And make sure you help your friends to let them know that, you know what? Hey, I can't use this word, nor can you. Because this word means a lot more than you think it means. You feel what I'm saying? So this is why I say, white folks, keep the N-word out your mouth. Now, remember, you know, I got to go, we can go with some rappers and Snoop. Snoop is one of the cats who changed the N-word. You know what I mean? And if you listen to some of his songs, I know he has it in it. But there was a time where Snoop actually changed the word. And there was a lot of actually rappers who were trying to take the word out of their songs. You see? Because we want to banish the word. That's what we want to do. We want to banish the word. So don't try to keep the word. The word it doesn't conjure up good feelings, man. It ain't that lovey-dovey feeling. This word conjures up hate because the KKK used this word on Black people to sit there and intimidate, lynch, beat them brutally. You know what I mean? And Black folks suffered because of this word. So do yourself a favor, dog. Get educated. Go look at some Black history. Go look at some civil rights movement, Martin Luther King and everybody else in the civil rights movement. Go do that. Go do some reading and understand why I say white folks, keep the N-word out your mouth. So, bruh, I ain't mad at you, dog. I just want you to get educated. And then you come back and make a comment on my site about how you were educated and you told your friends not to use the word. Because if you don't do that, you're not learning nothing, man. So do that for me. You feel me? Now, and I know we're going through a pandemic. And the pandemic is taking a lot of lives, man. And Black folks, Latinos, indigenous people, we on the bottom. It's hurting us. So people, I'm talking to everyone out there though. Y'all need to be safe. You need to understand that this virus does not discriminate. Only the pandemic of racism does. You feel me? So Kamala Harris says it. Racism has no vaccine. But just think, if we had a vaccine for racism, would it stop racism? I believe so. But remember, what do we do to keep ourselves safe from the virus? Wear a mask, social distance, hand sanitize, wash your hands, stay out of the big crowds. That's what you got to do to make sure you stay safe and keep your family safe and keep your partners safe. That's what you got to do. You feel me? So make sure, as I say to you again, white folks, keep the N-word out your mouth. Yo, I'm your man Valentine, baby. If you think it's your time to shine, you need to get on the grind with your man Valentine.